What's the gun for, Joe?
This is here in case somebody comes in and tries to stop me from making this recording, okay? Because the fact is the FBI, CIA, and Pentagon and Homeland Security has to know what's going on in Las Vegas, Nevada, okay? I'm gonna set it right here though, so that way, you know, nobody feels threatened in the office while I'm making this recording, okay?
So tell us a little bit about why you're here.
Okay, the reason I'm here is there's a family by the name of the Getz family, G-E-T-Z, living in Las Vegas. They're a very big family, okay? They have several men in their family that are my age, approximately in their mid-50s to early 60s. And each man has several sons, okay? So they virtually have an army of relatives living in Las Vegas, okay? And I stumbled on them accidentally, and then when I did, they started grabbing people I know, okay? And I didn't understand why at first, but then I found out they were using a military CIA spy satellite, okay? That they got their hands on from an access to from what we call an Air Force baseman out at Nellis Air Force Base, okay? And they've been using it to steal properties all over Las Vegas, okay? I have a list here of all the properties that I've got from the county assessor's office. As you can see, it's page after page after page of stolen properties. And right here, properties that have been purchased from the Getz family, okay? Either purchased or not, they murdered the families and then they paid off the mortgages, okay? And then had the mortgages transferred over to their name. So this page after page after page of it. And each member has a different phony ID, okay? They use the name Keith, they use the name Spence, they use the name Spencer, they use the name Getz, okay, Orton. They have all these different names they use, okay? And like I said, it's just dozens and dozens of pages of it, okay? I filled out a police report, event number 110330-2805. And the police report reads as such: I have not seen my son in over a year. I started receiving threats against his life over a couple of years ago from a man who calls himself Ronald Frank Orton, okay, which is not really his name. I hired a private detective, did some checking, and found out his last name is really Getz. His first name is either James, Frank, Larry, or Frederick. He has several brothers and sisters, all in their 50s and 60s, and they all have sons and daughters in their 20s and 30s. Turns out they are an organized crime family that's been living in town since the 1950s, which explains why I started receiving threats against my son's life and his mother, and the rest of his mother's family. My son's name is Joshua James Gillespie. He's about 6 foot tall, and his birthday is on 2/2/79. His mother's name is Rhonda Renee Sanchez. Turns out she's sleeping with a couple of these guys, okay, and that's how she got sucked into this. But they're also holding her 2 ex-husbands and their families hostage too, Max Sanchez and David Schneider, okay? And they're holding Dave Schneider's whole family hostage, and they're holding Max Sanchez's whole family hostage, along with their kids. And let's see, they've got the rest of Rhonda's family here. They got Tammy here from Pittsburgh, and they got her 2 daughters, Holly and Danielle. They've included them into this whole scam of things too, okay? And they've also got control of Shane Robb, her brother, which is detective with Metro in Las Vegas, which I'm not sure what part he plays in all this, but he's in it too. And they're supporting themselves by robbing and ripping off rich people here in Las Vegas. They have stolen millions of dollars in cash and properties from like the Bennetts, who built the Circus Hotel Empire, okay? They're also responsible for the death of Bill Bennett Jr., okay? Right here is his obituary. It was in the paper, okay?
Which newspaper and what date?
RJ paper on the date of March 17th. Thursday was his obituary, okay?
That's 2011.
Right, this year alone, okay? He died under what they questionable circumstances, okay? And this is how they get rid of people that are rich. They OD them. They have an inside person working at the coroner's office to pass it through so that they're not noticed, and that's how they're getting their money. They also ripped off the Glenn Schaefer family. Glenn Schaefer was also with the Bennett family, and he was building the Fontainebleau Hotel in Las Vegas, okay? And Fontainebleau, as everybody in Las Vegas knows, was never finished. Him and Anna Schaefer were building that, and they didn't get the place done because their construction account was completely cleaned out by the Guest family, okay? And so that's why you have a big white elephant sitting on a strip called Fontainebleau that's unfinished. The Sahara Hotel just closed because of the skimming from the Guest family, okay? And also, Ralph Ingolstadt, which owns the Imperial Palace, he is having problems with the Guest family too, from what I understand, although not completely confirmed, okay? And let's see here, what else we got? Oh yeah, they have a phony Rhonda and a phony Josh living in her house at 9326 Apache Springs, and they replace people with other people and their phony IDs. And I've been trying my hardest to get somebody in Metro to notice, but they have several police officers involved in this whole thing too. They've also grabbed my friends. They have a girlfriend of mine named Lita Lindell and her husband Jack Lindell. They're holding hostage. They have this is Dave Snyder's little brother, Carl Snyder, okay, and his wife and kids. They have complete control of Susan Snyder,
Okay.
Susan Snyder, okay, and here's another friend of mine named Jody Grizzle they grabbed too, lived on North Jones. Him and his wife Darcy, they got complete control of them. And here's my Uncle Max, okay? My Uncle Max owned M&M Construction, was the most successful company in town for grading and paving, okay? Well, they went completely under, and they sold all the equipment off, and they've got my Uncle Max, they've got his son Tad Masserang, okay, and his wife too, that they're holding hostage, okay? This is why my little brother, by the way, Chip Masserang, was murdered, because that is my Uncle Max's blood nephew, okay? They have my girlfriend Noelle Lavallee from Ogden, Utah. They have her too, man, okay? They force these people to be what they call sex slaves, okay, when they get cute girls like this, okay? And they have my son, Joshua James Gillespie, okay? That's my son right there with me at my little brother's funeral, okay? They also have my friends, Ed and Pam Pollock, man, from Chicago, okay? They also have other people from Arizona, the Parmachinkas, and Tony and Angie Parmachinka from Arizona, okay? And let's see, what else we got? Oh, here we go. And for fun, and they've got another man by the name of Sayed Safakish, okay? He is an Iranian. He came down here to Vegas. Now, I'm not sure what party place, but I know he has relatives in Iran, okay? And they are currently also spying on the Seal Beach Naval Weapons Center in Seal Beach, California, okay? They are spying on Edwards Air Force Base in the Mojave Desert. And they also are spying on the air station at Miramar in San Diego, and Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps base, man, on training techniques, okay? And they also are spying on the China Lake Naval Weapons Center in the Mojave Desert and Nellis Air Force Base on the stealth bomber program, okay? And they also planned a hit on President Obama a couple of years ago, but since I reported it to the Secret Service, they decided to call it off, okay? But they are selling it, and I don't know what part Sayed Safakish plays in this, but I believe because of his connections in Iran, they might be selling the secrets from those weapon centers and what have you to him, and he's transferring them to his relatives or friends in Iran and what have you, okay? And my whole message is I'm trying to get this to the FBI. CBS News has a program that I can use to prove that what I'm saying is the truth, okay? And these properties are the proof that they have stolen the properties. And if you'll just, I need help from the FBI, I need the CIA to help me track this down, because it is a military satellite that's being used right now in Las Vegas, okay? And if you'll just, what they call, find the military patch into the phone lines in Las Vegas, okay? They have it transferred onto a laptop computer, okay? And it's a cell phone, wireless computer. All I gotta do is find the military patch going into that, and you will realize that the CIA satellite is being used here in Las Vegas. And it's going to complete control of the Guest family, okay? And I'm trying to get a message out, all right? So, This is going to make copies of this. I'm having it sent to CBS News, ABC News, NBC News, and CNN and Fox News, and copies going to the Pentagon in Washington and Homeland Security, okay, and several senators and newspapers across the country. So, thank you very much for listening. I hope something gets done about these people in Vegas, because they're armed and dangerous, and they should be taken seriously.